What's good, YouTube? Your boy Brute Saints back, the most brutally honest Saints fan who ever walked the earth, man. And finally here with the regular style, the old style predictions that I did last year. Uh, so for this week, it'll be week 2, and we're going to Charlotte to take on the Panthers. Now, for week 1, both these teams are running high after getting wins for week 1. Panthers beat the Jets, and the Saints beat the absolute dog piss out of the Packers. And so now we're going into this game both with confidence, a lot of confidence. But at this point, it turns out to be who has the better matchups, right? Well, let's see how both teams have done in week 1, and then we'll see what we can get based off of that. So let's start with the Panthers side, okay? Sam Darnold had 24 completions out of 33 attempts. Out of those, the 3 of those completions were 20 plus yards out of 5 attempts for 110 yards for a touchdown. Medium passes, completions 0, attempts 6. And wow, that's shaky. That's shaky. Short completions 14, attempts 15 for 130 yards. Okay, that's good. You need to have that. Otherwise, you would be voice crack. Otherwise, you would have to be a very shitty quarterback if you can't do that for short passes. Completions behind the line of scrimmage, 7 completions, 7 attempts, of course. I mean, you have to. 39 yards. Not a bad stat line, and he didn't throw any interceptions, which is good. He played mistake-free football, just like Jameis, so okay. As for McCaffrey, he had 27 total touches and 171 yards, which, of course, you would expect that from McCaffrey whenever he's healthy. You expect him to, definitely put up the numbers because, I mean, when it comes to that entire offense, he can really be the spark of it. He could be like the spotlight, the star of the offense. So, I mean, of course, you're gonna have that. DJ Moore had 8 targets and holding 6 catches. Wow, that's nice. Well, of course, DJ Moore should be their number 1 receiver. Donald and Robbie Anderson didn't have a great first week together outside of one major throw, of course, but I do feel like that connection can get better. I feel like it's possible. So we'll see what happens in this game. The Panthers' offensive line allowed 11 pressures. However, the Jets' defense could only turn 1 of them into a sack. All right, the Panthers' defensive line recorded 17 pressures themselves, with Hassan Riddick getting after Wilson 5 times. 5 players logged multiple pressures, with edge rusher Brian Burns getting in on the action with 3 pressures and a sack. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. Even before this season, I mean, I knew that basically the Panthers front 7 is actually surprisingly underrated. I feel like they actually are good. Now they did play the Jets, so they're going up against a way better offense with the Saints. So we'll see how they really are, and if they do play impressive football next week, I'll give them their props. I'll give them their props. Linebackers: Shaq Thompson was outstanding, picking off Wilson once and having another potential interception bounce off his chest on a low pass. And he also added a sack, and I also believe that he had 5 tackles and 5 assisted tackles as well. So yeah, Shaq Thompson balled out in this game. J.C. Horn was targeted 3 times and only gave up 1 catch for 10 yards. Dante Jackson was the only player in the secondary to allow multiple catches, as he gave up 4 for 58 yards on 6 targets. Actually, J.C. Horn kind of performed like a Debo did, except that Debo allowed 1 catch for 14 yards, I believe. So, yeah, both J.C. Horn and Paulson Adebo are great rookie corners in this league. Now let's look at the Saints. So, Wilson had 14 completions out of 20 attempts. 5 out of 5 of them behind the line of scrimmage were 31 yards, and he got a touchdown out of that, which was to Kamara. Short passes, 4 completions out of 6 attempts, 13 yards, 1 touchdown. Medium completions, 4 out of 5 attempts, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then long completions, 1 out of 3 attempts, 55 yards, and a touchdown, which that one completion was to Harris. So not a bad stat line, and he didn't throw any interceptions, which is great. Very great. When it comes to the rushing attack, Alvin Kamara accumulated 83 yards on his 20 attempts. Tony Jones Jr. stepped in as Kamara's backup and performed admirably. He forced a missed tackle while totaling 50 yards in just 11 attempts, which is actually good. That equals almost 5 yards in an attempt. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, man. I mean, the tandem with Kamara and Jones, I feel like will be great. It'll be up there for sure, but it's not going to be as good as Chubb and Hunt, but it'll be good. So Marquez Callaway played the most snaps. Interesting. He had only 2 targets and 1 reception for 14 yards. So yeah, Callaway wasn't really force-fed the ball as much as we expected, but that could be because defenses looked at the preseason footage and thought, okay, so this guy's going to be the most dangerous one, so we better focus on him. Not realizing the other weapons we had. So yeah, definitely a big game for Jawan Johnson, Harris, and Kamara, of course, with both rushing and catching. Offensive line. Saints did not allow a single sack in the victory, but surrendered 10 total pressures and 2 quarterback hits. So, kind of the same as the Panthers, but you also got to think that we didn't have Eric McCoy. We did have Cesar Ruiz at center and Calvin Throckmorton at right guard. So yeah, we were without our starting center and still pull up that stat. I mean, I think that's a little impressive to me. Defensive line limited the Green Bay to an average of just 1.3 yards before contact in the run game. Inferior defender Shai Tuttle was the standout of the group with his tackles coming at an average of just 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. Man, what a freaking game. The unit also converted 15 total pressures into 2 sacks. Alright, linebackers. Demario Davis picked up right where he left off in 2020 and is set to earn a unit best overall grade on first review of the film. The former All-Pro was especially adept in coverage, allowing just a 67.1 passer rating for the game. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Linebackers did their thing. The New Orleans secondary held the Packers to a lowly 49.8 passer rating. My goodness. Green Bay was unable to maintain any momentum throughout the air Sunday, averaging an uninspiring 6.2 air yards per completion and 4.3 yards after the catch. Marshawn Lattimore paced the group with 2 forced completions, allowing just 2 receptions on his 5 targets, while Williams snagged one of the team's 2 interceptions. Yeah, secondary, man, they did their thing as well. Our entire defense did their fucking thing, man. I mean, it was crazy. But anyway, y'all got those stats. So for me, based off those stats, I don't think that we will blow out the Panthers at all. It's going to be kind of a struggle. We're going to have a struggle in this because their front 7 does look pretty good. Okay, they do look good. You know, I even thought that like before the season started. And you know, they did their job against the Jets, but nothing really that impressive because it's the fucking Jets. So in this game, we're really gonna see what they really are, and they'll be tested. So my prediction, I believe we will win by a touchdown. We'll win by a touchdown. When I look at both teams, our offensive line is a little bit better. Our running back group is a little bit better as well. I mean, of course, Panthers got McCaffrey, but we got Kamara. And, I mean, Jones is not really that bad. He's actually pretty damn good. Because, you know, and of course, they balance out the workload for those two, which helps out a lot in Kamara's case. And when it comes to the entire defense, I think when it comes to overall defense, the Saints have it better when it comes to overall defense. Of course, there's pieces here and there that you can argue are better than who's on the Saints, but when it comes to the overall defense, the Saints got it over them. So I feel like we will win by a touchdown this game. But you never know. We could have some fucking shocking fucking loss. You never know. Anyway, Hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like if y'all did. Subscribe, all that good shit. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Your boy Brute Saint is out. Peace.